Hey, this is Patricia Tallman from Night of the Living Dead and Babylon 5. And you are watching Death Curse Society. Stay badass. Enjoy life. Go for your dreams.
Woo! Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Monday Maniacs from Death Curse Society. I got the Zigzag, I got Colonel, and I'm Red Crank right here for you every Monday. How we doing, gents?
Fucking fantastic.
Love it, love it.
I'll tell you what, a ton of movies were watched this week in preparation for tonight's show, and the 60s, not really what I remember watching growing up, man. It was, I was a little bit like, oh, this isn't how I remembered it at all. But the cream certainly rose to the top for this decade. And
Yes.
just, you know, we're going to tune in, tune on. And man, that's how we do it. Man.
Dude, did you say the cream rises to the top of this decade and we don't have fucking Macho Man?
Oh, yeah.
The cream always rises to the top. I can't do it.
You know, we're not too wrestling friendly around this joint, man. I got you.
You just made the list.
Yeah, I'm glad you put yourself on the fucking list for not
There
getting
you
Macho Man, this motherfucker, man.
Yeah. We never know what we're going to say until we say it. And then it's like, man, I should have gotten that drop.
I got to get that drop ready. Right. You know,
He forgot.
He forgot.
I need a script.
He smoked it away.
Please. Script.
Line. Anyway.
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
Say line, I'll be like.
As Ziggy intimated, we are not doing cocaine on the show tonight, but we are going to be talking about the top 10 movies from the 1960s. We had this recommended to us from the winner of Curse Your Luck last week, Raymond, and at the end of the show, we decided, you know what? We don't really have a topic, so fuck it, we're going to run with it. And we did, and like Ziggy said, I had to watch a shit ton because I literally only think I'd seen like 4 horror movies from the 60s, maybe 5.
I'll tell you what, truth be told, in the end, you know, a lot of these I enjoyed growing up on the Saturday afternoon horror shows, so this was really kind of cool revisiting them again. But honestly, there was a shit ton of movies I had to leave off the list. This was very difficult. There was a few cuts I didn't want to make here. So, yeah, I think this is going to be crazy.
Same here. I was surprised at how many movies from the 60s I actually had seen. Because, you know, French overlords, typical bullshit. I don't have time to watch 20 movies in the fucking week leading up to this. So, yeah, it was definitely difficult to try to watch every movie on my top 10, which I'll admit I didn't. There's a few I didn't. Well, there's a few I did. So,
How
Top two I
many?
need to watch again? I've seen them a million fucking times. Those two were easy.
How many that are on your list did you watch, Colonel, this week?
Let's see here. Pull up the list. One, two.
While he's
Yes,
doing that, how about you? Three?
No, me.
Yeah, how about
three
you,
for
Ziggy?
Colonel. I actually watched. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7. The top 3 I did not watch because I've seen them more than I can count.
Okay, cool. I got 5 that I watched this week. Actually 6, but 1 did not make the list. So
I couldn't sleep the other night,
Yeah,
so
well,
I begged. And it's fun. Some of these fucking movies are like an hour 15 minutes, an hour 17 minutes. You know what I
Right.
mean? They're not that super long.
You know what's crazy? I didn't realize how many fucking vampire movies came out in the 60s. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
You
And-
Hammer fans may not be happy with my list. I'm just giving you a heads up.
dude, and I'm going to admit this right now too. I was never really introduced to Hammer.
Really?
That was not something that was brought to me in my youth. Some of the Christopher Lee Draculas, some of the was it Mangella, Frank Langella that did it
Langella,
after him.
Listen,
Some of his I got to see, but not many of the real Hammer ones. And I don't know if that was because of the nudity or what. But
I feel like we're probably going to have to do a complete Hammer list here. That was my thoughts anyway. Going out, that's what kind of helped me get to where I am. But we could absolutely do it.
We could.
Do you not remember the early days of AMC Fear Fest where they showed nothing but fucking Chucky and Friday the 13th movies and all this shit? It was literally nothing but Hammer stuff. How do you think I got introduced to Hammer? It was literally AMC Fear Fest when I was in high school.
Oh yeah.
Like, it was 2 weeks, dude. That's where I seen Captain Kronos and all this shit.
I
Watching
see,
that.
I didn't catch that. I don't know if that was because that was in between, like after my youth. But
There used to be a great, nice, eclectic mix of stuff on the AMC Monster Vision. You're right, and they kind of now just
oh, they mainstream the fuck out of that now. So
Well,
and
they got
but
money
yeah-
for the rights to that shit, man.
if we are gonna do a Hammer list at some point, I'm gonna need time to deep dive into this.
doesn't have to be any. We don't have to put it in stone or like set a date for it yet. But I just there's just some of them that are really good movies that just I just went like fuck. But what about this? So that's when I started thinking about it. I was like, we'll just do the whole Hammer list, and that'll vindicate all these choices.
Right. Well, I remember I watched
So
Captain
we gotta do a
Kronos.
Hammer list to make up for your fuck up because you didn't want to put them on your list. That's
Fuck up.
bullshit.
I did watch Captain Kronos after Colonel mentioned it on one of his lists when we did what 72 something like that.
Yeah.
Something. Hell, I remember talking. Fuck, that's one of the movies I talked about when we were experimenting with all this shit, like right
Right.
from the beginning.
I remember watching that, and with that, ended up watching a couple other Hammer films that just kind of popped up. If you like this, you might like that. That kind of shit. So, I did watch a couple then, but they didn't really sink in. And man, I tell you what, some of the ones that I thought were great '60s films from back in the day, like you were trying to allude to, do not hold up. And I got a great story about one of the classics. To talk about when we get to it. So,
Sure.
oh man, it's funny as shit. But let's talk our friends out there. All
Okay.
right, we got Tyrone in the house. Tarek is here. Tanya's here. Oh, and Tanya said, "Hello all. Got some pretty exciting mail today. Thanks, boys. Loved it." That's right. Yeah, some of you guys may have gotten to the mailbox and
Yes.
found
Let's taunt them. Let's taunt the people. Let's entice them to join, to get on these one of a kind shirts that you cannot get unless
what I
you are
was-
part of the elite.
it's what I was kind of leading to. I don't know. You were almost smelling what I was stepping in, but not quite. But yes, those of you that are on our top tier membership list, the Final Girls and Guys, it's $25 a month, but every few months we send you a free exclusive T-shirt that we design. It's normally, lately, it seems like it's been based on some stupid joke that we say or something that we do. The latest ones went out this week. If you did not get yours in the mail, it should be there anytime now. But Ziggy, can you take the full screen there?
I'll take care of you here. I got you. There you go.
You guys, you guys know the Colonel's sign off at the end of the show. The famous "Don't get sick, wash yo dick." That's right. That is our new one, featuring Angela from Sleepaway Camp. Now, I need to mention also, this in no way is like a transgender slam or anything. It's just...
Oh, a disclaimer? Really? Come on, man. I think everybody that's out there watching right now is smart enough to understand.
Everybody that knows us knows, but,
right.
you know, for those that don't, it's not a slam.
Everybody's welcome here. That's where we sit, you know. You know there's not a happier person on the planet right now than Billy Zane that his time has passed as the exclusive shirt of the year there. So, and if you missed that one too, it's gorgeous.
I have a story about that one too.
Glorious.
But that we'll get to before we start the show probably. FaZe is here. Rush the Ripper is here. What's up, man?
Welcome.
BK, Stacy Lynn, Lorena. She says, Lorena, it's the 60s, groovy, hip, far out, dig it. Yeah. You're talking Ziggy's language now.
That's right.
Tarek says, I can think of maybe 5 films total from this decade. This will be interesting. Yeah, like I said, I had to do some deep diving. This was not my forte, if you will.
I was more frustrated with what I had to leave off the list. That was the hardest part.
Really? Well, you're older than I am, so you had a little time to watch movies more.
A year and 2 months or something? What the fuck, man?
Hey, but you also had a double feature that you went to every week for however many years.
That was the thing to do. Yeah, it was.
I did not have that.
It was a run, man, in the early 80s to the late 80s.
Yeah.
Made me who I am today.
Again, like, I didn't have nothing what you guys fucking had. We talking about, how hard it was for me to watch some of these. The obvious ones, Psycho, Rosemary's Baby, those were fucking easy to fucking watch. Some of the shit on my list, I found them in the strangest fucking ways.
All right. Tarek says, a complete and total Hammer list would be very interesting to see from you guys.
Yeah.
Like a top 10. It's a possibility for down the road. I don't know. Maybe that'll be something we do in early 23. Because we pretty much have...
Hard.
I'd say at least half of the remaining shows of the year are already blocked out. Kind of not nailed down, but figured mostly out.
By the way, members, we have something cooking for you members. An exclusive coming up.
All members. All members.
All members are invited.
Not just the top tier this time. This is a little thing we're working on.
You're in the club, you're welcome for this, but it's going to be cool.
Yeah. Lorena says, if we do a Hammer list, I'm going to push for an Amicus list.
Hey, I'm down.
Let's shoot for that in 2024. No, I don't know. I need more time to research that too. Here's a good question. Nikita says, have you guys seen The Menu? I know it's releasing this Friday, but they have had a bunch of premieres, festival screenings, and other random early screenings, so that tells you they are confident. And the reviews have been promising. I think I can answer this. We have not seen it.
Funny you mentioned it, though.
But that is next week's topic.
Yes.
Because... Do what?
One day off, bro.
I know. Do your best. Do your best, sir.
Do my best.
But yeah, that is the plan. Is next Monday to review The Menu. I'm planning to see it either probably Thursday. So yeah, tune in next Monday, Nikita, and hopefully we'll have some news for you. Our thoughts on it.
I am a fan of Hell's Kitchen and this type of behavior from a head chef like that. So I'm totally into this concept. I hope it's as goofy and out there as they're saying, and I'm looking forward to this one.
Mm-hmm.
Almost to the point where I might have overhyped it a bit.
Yeah, maybe. I'm a fan of Anya Taylor-Joy, so anything she's attached to, I will rush out to see. So that's one thing I'm excited about for this movie, and it still looks kind of interesting. So
it does, because it doesn't look like they're giving you the whole choice there. Looks like there's some shit going down,
Right.
and it's gonna get crazy. I love that kind of shit. So bring it.
Yeah. Tyrone says the greatest shirt on earth. Hope you like it. Tarek is freaking out about the shirt, I think. Oh my God. Okay, that shirt was not what I expected to ever need. Hey, join the club. Join the club.
Get
in. Get in. You might be able to get it.
We'll extend it a week.
Here's another random question before we get started on our topic. Adam wants to know, what's your thoughts on the creator of Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer series, being approved for 2 more series? Ryan Murphy is, I would say, batting about 60-40 with me. I like some of his stuff. Some of his stuff is a little but
I think he's achieved that darling status, though, right now with some of the deals he's been making with FX and now with Netflix. So, yeah, I think it's cool. I think he'll deliver. That Dahmer shit was pretty fucked up. So I think it'll be good. Yeah.
That Dahmer shit was okay. I've been struggling to fucking finish it. I'll be honest with you. Like, you guys know me. Like, the biggest compliment I give this show is I just find it hilarious every time the cops show up. What's going on here? Oh, gay stuff. And they just fucking walk away. What the fuck? Just...
Yeah, cops are all like, well, keep it down in there.
I mean, great acting and stuff. I'm not blown away by it.
keep it down in there? What are you trying to imply?
Yep, they're coming up to the door.
No, you always look for a reason to use that damn music.
What's going on in there?
Just gay stuff. Don't mind us.
Good
Lord. Just stop it. Stop it right now.
All right.
You want some brewskis?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm just...
Patricia got her shirt. She says, a lot of my friends love the shirt. Hope it gets you guys more fans. Hope so. Yeah. Sign them up, Patricia.
Haven't even begun to get debaucherous on these shirts yet. This is just the beginning.
We're starting to push the envelope a lot more than we did.
The Me Too shirt was probably the other close one that was like
that
on
was
the edge. That was walking the line.
That was still hysterical, and everyone that sees it out in public has liked it. Yes.
Yes. And they get it. They don't think
Right.
it's offensive, Because I've even asked a few people when I've worn it out, and I'm like, okay, is this shirt too much? And they're like, blah. No, that's perfect. So
I didn't buy that one.
Lorena says, roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and Billy Zane is a dick. That's right.
As a matter of fact, yeah.
I got to get that one back, man. That was good.
To quote Mickey Knox, that's pure poetry, Lorena. Pure poetry. All right, there he is. Raymond says, Billy Zane is still a dick. Now, another sort of disclaimer to our members. I know we say that our members are the only ones that get some of these exclusive shirts. When we ran into the Billy Zane situation a while back, Raymond was there. And when we decided to make this shirt, Raymond was kind of there. And we were just all a little drunk, a little punch drunk from 3 days of just running around this convention all together. So when Raymond won the Curse Your Luck last week, I took it as an opportunity to also send him one of the Billy Zane t-shirts, just as like a little added bonus. Raymond's been a good friend to us up in Cincinnati for the last several years now. And that was just an additional thank you from the three of us to you, Raymond. So
Thanks, Ray.
This is like I told him. But we realized you and Zach do not have that shirt. So, yeah.
we'll work
I
on
don't
that.
even have it, yeah.
We'll work on that this week.
That one I want, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I did want to let you guys know, and those watching that are members, that there are very few exceptions to this rule we will break. That is one of them, and I think Sean Clark, he definitely deserves one too. So because he's the one that made me go back out to the car and put it on and come back into the convention the last time. So we need to send him one as well. Man, you guys are crazy with the comments tonight. Brucey, I think Crank was the only one around. And fuck you, Brucey. No, I'm sorry. I even looked at that message now. Fuck you, Brucey. No.
I wasn't even around in the 60s, all right? I missed the whole thing by a year and a half.
Early 70s, mid 70s, 80s. So, I think.
Yes. Actually, it's crazy. Coming up very
the
soon.
craziest phase knows. Like,
Oh, yeah. And Faye's even hit it.
Oh, yeah.
Zag and Crank, early 70s babies. Colonel, near early 80s. There we go. And Andy says,
like 2 weeks.
Andy says, I was around in the 60s. Ask me anything. Damn hippies everywhere.
Get a haircut, you damn hippies.
Hey, you leave my hair alone, damn it. It's finally starting to grow again. I changed shampoos, and that seems to have been the issue. So,
That was the thing?
yeah.
Yeah, you used to have a fucking mane when we first started doing this, man.
Yeah. Well, and then I cut it for the Danielle Harris interview back in, last June?
Last year.
A year and a half ago, and it's barely grown 2 inches since then. But that was around the time I'd changed shampoos, and that fucking tea tree shit is not working for me anymore.
He uses that horse shampoo.
Dude, what's funny is somebody actually recommended this to me. A native guy was just like, "Man, you need to get that horse shampoo," and I was just like, "This is some weird." No, I was like, "I get you, but no, man, I can't. I don't think I can do that."
It's like,
Take your shit, girl, dude. Say.
I don't know,
what's
man.
going on, man. He was probably trying to get him all doped up or something in there to knock him out, and he was going to run into Crank's apartment and...
Hey!
Oh, yeah. What's going on?
Can't.
Just gay stuff.
Have you watched...
Would you stop? Oh,
Very
God.
good, Colonel.
That was good. Rush the Ripper says, Billy Zane winked at me. I bet he did.
Oh, boy.
I bet he did.
You know, I felt bad, man, because like that other guy came up and was like, well, he was the best to me. He was awesome. I don't have any... I was like, well, you're the one, dude. You're the one out of everybody we've talked to all around here for years and years. You're the one guy that had a good experience and probably don't realize that.
And that's why Billy Zane was probably nice to him on purpose the one time. So someone can counter argue all this dick count. Who's a dick? Oh no, he's a great guy.
No, yeah. Dude.
I don't think Rush is saying that,
No.
he's a nice guy. He's just saying he winked at him.
Oh, yes.
I haven't gotten that far in the comments, though. Maybe he does explain more. I don't know. Nikita has a message for Colonel. Even if you don't like Dahmer, that's fair, but it's hard to argue against giving Evan Peters his second Emmy. High time that guy is a bigger, bankable name.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
Completely. Evan Peters fucking killed it. Like I said, his acting didn't affect the series. I thought Niecy Nash did a great job, too. It's just the pacing for me was just kind of... I couldn't binge watch it. Netflix, you want to binge. Dahmer's like, I'd watch an episode, and a couple days later, I'd watch another episode.
I agree with that, dude, because I just found them to be tolling, man. It's like, God damn, watching that shit. You got to go take a shower after watching that.
The only time watching the entire series, though, where I really got emotionally involved was like, don't kill Tony. I knew he was going to kill Tony. I was like, don't touch the man. Tony's a good dude. Why are you going to fuck him up, man? Like,
I just think
for Tony.
He's a rising star in our world, and he deserves it.
Hey, he had a spot in a couple of the X-Men movies too. So I mean,
a couple of X-Men movies.
Yeah.
He's going to be the new Agatha movie.
Yeah, so he's
on Disney Plus. So
he's no slouch. Yeah, he's no slouch, man.
No, he ain't going nowhere.
No, he'll be a bigger name. Just give him a few more years, and it'll happen. One more from Nikita I'm going to hit, and then we'll get started here. Is it too early for me to ask a spoiler explanation for a new horror movie whose ending I didn't really understand? Let's save it. Try to save it, if you would, for the end of the show, after we're done with all of our list, and after we're done with all of the other list that we're going through. Maybe throw the title of the movie in the comments so we can kind of...
Terrifier 2, he has to.
Maybe.
Yeah. That's my guess, anyway.
Maybe. And there's Rush with an explanation. That was the extent of any interaction I've had with Billy Zane, was the wink from a distance. I really have no opinion on his personality.
Oh.
Well,
that's, I don't know. Hey, I went up as a fan, and he ruined it.
And walked away not a fan.
He ruined it. He ruined it, straight up. His demeanor, and for a fan to come up and, first of all, pay that kind of fucking money to meet an idol like that and to be treated as such, I ain't flying because I've met too many of these fucking people, and 99% of them are down to earth and get it. They're cool and they'll hang with you, and they know why they're there. Fuck that guy. Hasn't had a hit movie in 37 years, and fuck that. He's a dick. He was a dick. And
the last time he had any type of hit movie, he played a fucking dick in the Titanic.
yeah,
That's true. That's true.
Fuck with us, you get the fucking shirt. That's just the way it goes.
Oh boy. One last piece of business to take care of. Thanks to, since we've mentioned it a couple times already, our members, our final girls and guys, Chris, Lorena, Christy, Luke, Patricia, Tanya, and Tyrone, our Crazy Ralph, Raymond, and our camp counselors, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Kiara, and Dave. Too much?
You see that fucking blood coming out of my ears now? Shit.
I barely hit it. All right. To become a member, check out our website at deathcursesociety.com and go to the join page. You can see all the details on what we offer to those of you that help support us financially.
You get to see everything early too, and then the exclusive things. I don't know. We did a watch along with Vincent a while back there, and that was really cool. And the Christmas one too. We watched It's Me, Billy, and that was fucking awesome. Those guys. I just love the director's commentary as we're watching and stuff.
Right.
That's good stuff.
And we're getting ready in a few weeks to do another one of those. So get in there, become a member. You can just do the $3 a month deal.
Yeah,
you're good to go. So, all right, Colonel. Top 10 of 1960s. Yes, it is your turn to kick it off.
Fuck. Well, going to be too animated to go too in depth with these. I'm pretty much just going to read the fucking list. To be completely honest with you, it was the 60s. I was able to get a top 10, but I can honestly say only two of these would probably be my top 25, top 50. Now, I did have to leave some off the list. Spoiler alert, you will not see any of the Vincent Price, Edgar Allan Poe movies on here. There's too many. I couldn't choose one, so I kind of just went, you know what, I'm not going to choose any of them. I probably should have put, Pit and the Pendulum on here, honestly. That's probably my favorite out of those. But, yeah, I didn't. So coming in at number 10, very strange way I discovered this movie. You guys remember back at Blockbuster, Hollywood Video and shit? Every once in a while, they'd cycle through their old VHSs and they put shit out for sale for pretty cheap. So I saw this movie. It was, also had the line, Mystery Science Theater 3000 on there. Like, oh, cool. I see this on Sci-Fi Channel every once in a while. I want to pick this up. So, unfortunately, I couldn't put that version of the movie on the list, but this is why it's coming in at 10 or to be way higher. The Brain That Wouldn't Die. Yes. If you have not seen Mystery Science version of this, you have to. This is before I smoked weed, and that was the best thing I ever fucking seen in my life. It was fucking hilarious. I wish I could put that version on here. Like, I need to get that on Blu-ray or DVD or bootleg.
You should find that.
Because, that was the first one that really got me into it. So, yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's pretty self-explanatory, like every other movie from the 60s. You really don't have to think too much into it. And coming in at number 9, this is where I kind of went the Zags route. I probably shouldn't even put it on the list, but fuck it. I did anyway. Hammer's The Curse of the Werewolf. Yes, classic Hammer film. This one's nice, though. It takes place in Spain.
Spain?
England. Spain. They're Spaniards. But it's pretty much your run-of-the-mill Hammer film. The coolest part in this movie, I love it. He's like up on a tower or some shit. There's some hay bales, and the villagers are throwing the torches up there at him. One of them hits the hay bale and the kitchen's on fire. They're like, yeah, cheering. And then, like a fucking badass, he just picks the fucking hay bale up that's on fire and throws it back at him. Like, and they all go, run away.
Yep, he says.
Pretty much, I'm going Baba the Curse of the Werewolf. That's number 9. I don't know why I'm going on so much about it. So we'll move on to number 8. I'll be honest, I'm really not even a big fan of this film. But it's on the list because it's kind of horror royalty, and it did do a lot for the horror genre. I'm sorry. I don't care about fucking bunch of rich people, even if they are fucking devil worshippers. Rosemary's Baby. It's an iconic film. I ain't gonna say it's shit. It's just not one of my favorites. I'm like, like Rosemary's Baby is almost my version of the Beatles, where I'm like, it's good, but I don't see the big deal.
Jesus, at least you and I agree on that.
So,
God,
On the Beatles. Fuck yeah. All right.
shit, man. Fuck the both of you, man. What's going on here?
that's just being honest. It's on the list
Shit.
for what is
I
one
thought,
of the.
I thought I knew you guys.
I've been very. There's another one that's pretty high on my list, and we can pretty much say the same shit about it.
Ziggy, you've ridden in the car with me. You know Beatles doesn't play in my car very often.
Yes, but
You've heard
Yeah,
my
we
word
had
collection.
we had a discussion about the Stones and the Beatles on the way to Connecticut, I think, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
still, that
Good.
hurts a little bit. I have to be honest, that hurts a little bit.
Well, I'm sorry. Like I said, they're good. But I don't see all the hoopla about it.
All right. Just
All right,
musicianship.
so comment,
wise, I disagree, but that's okay.
That's
Continue.
fine. We can do that. We're not talking about the Beatles, even though it was the '60s. We're talking about horror movies.
Yes.
So coming in at number 7. God, again, like I said, there's so many fucking vampire movies in the fucking '60s. Black Sunday. This is a solid film.
Yeah.
To this day,
Yeah,
it still
man.
stands up. If you haven't seen it, it's on Shudder. I highly suggest it. Coming in at number 6. I'm about number 6.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Stall for a second.
So anyway, I told Dag, I was like, look, man, Ringo
Okay.
Starr is the greatest
Okay.
drummer of all fucking time.
Okay, good.
So coming in at number 6, Dracula, Prince of Darkness. Yes, I went this route. This is Hammer heavy because I love the fucking Hammer films. Granted,
Okay.
this is not the best Dracula movie.
No,
Not at all.
it's good though.
It is good. It's not the best. I mean, I'm like, what do I do? Because I just keep seeing Crank.
Keep going.
It's weird. You're weirding me out, man.
I'm trying to fix the items that are missing from the list. So, because I had to add this one like last minute. That's why I was like, oh, stall for a second.
So yeah, run the mill. Christopher Lee, Dracula, dies.
Well, we got this. You could always.
There you
All
go.
right, we're back.
Okay, so coming in at number 5, should be lower on my list. I'll be completely honest with you, but I still love it. I don't give a fuck. It's the '60s. It's free spirit, baby. Monster, go home. Everybody knows how big of a fan I am of the Monsters.
Totally fine.
So this is going to make my list fucking regardless.
Totally fine.
So yes, I know. Oh, you put Monsters above Rosemary's Baby. You got
Yes,
I did.
that's what I'm thinking right now. Jesus Christ.
God damn right I did. The Monsters are the shit. I don't care what you guys think. That's what they came in at number 5. Coming in at number 4. Oh man, this is horror royalty right here.
Son of a
Everybody
bitch.
fucking loves it.
You son of a bitch.
I think it's okay. I see the importance of it, though. Come on, it is technically the first kind of slasher. Psycho. Mommy issues. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I know where he's going, where it's going to end here, but now I'm wondering what the fuck's going on in the next two.
Oh, get ready for a ride, baby.
This is
Yeah.
number 4. What you talking about?
Well, we know where your number 1 is, but we're
Yeah.
curious what 3 and 2 are.
How are you curious about what number 2 is? Like that's so.
Yeah, you shouldn't be curious about number 2.
So coming in at number 3. Oops, I did it again. Dracula has risen from the grave.
You're killing me, Colonel. God damn
Fucking
it.
right. Another Hammer film. So I'm just putting Dracula. A lot of fucking vampire movies, man. I'm sorry.
They were riding high. There's no question.
And there are movies, like I said, I will admit there's a lot I kept off the list. I should have put variety on here, but I was kind of going with like, you know what, I might as well go with the ones I've seen the most. And so that's kind of where I went. Dracula has risen from the grave. Dracula alive, Dracula gets killed. As gothic as fuck. That's your normal Hammer fucking movie. Coming in at number 2, now this is where I get a little excited, because these 2 movies are part of my foundation of horror. I know you say you're going to see it. I was like, Crank's going to hate this fucking movie with a passion.
I've got no clue. I
fucking knew it. He's like, I'm going to watch it.
I
never
did.
replied to anybody else.
I did watch it.
Coming in number 2 is fucking Spider Baby.
Remember how I mentioned that there were some that I watched that did not make my list?
Yeah. I picked up the hint right away, dude. I picked up the hint. I got it.
Boom! Mic drop.
You say mic drop all you want. Spider Baby's fucking awesome. Yes, I know it's a bad movie. I fucking know it is. But come on, man. The opening credits, you got Lon Chaney Jr. singing this fucking Halloween ass fucking song at the beginning. You got a young Sid Haig, rest in peace. I mean, you watch this. You're like, okay, Rob Zombie, and I love House of a Thousand Corpses, obviously ripped off Spider Baby and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, big time.
Made fucking House of a Thousand Corpses.
Big time.
Fucking love this movie. If you guys haven't seen it, just quick rundown. Like, these people were inbred, and they got this disease where their brain, they act younger than what they really are the older they get, and it's just kind of stupid. If you, I'll be honest, it's kind of stupid. But that's what makes
But it's my number 2.
That's my number 2. Yes, I fucking love it, man. I'll be honest, I fucking love Spider Baby. I'm sorry, I like a dumb movie, Crank. That's not like everybody's sucking his dick off like they do with Psycho and Rosemary's Baby. Some people like Sleepaway Camp 3, Crank.
They do.
So
They do.
deal with it.
Yeah.
See, you guys don't make me drop my.
I don't see. You see my hands up here. I have no control over the sound.
What do you mean? That was totally you.
Oh, that was you, Zach. Shut the fuck up. I know it was you. My ears aren't bleeding after that one. I wasn't cranking.
Yeah, just wait.
Last
Christmas
but
is
not least,
coming.
this is a fucking no-brainer for anybody who knows me. Night of the Living Dead. I mean, it only spawned a whole new fucking genre of horror. I mean, what can I say about Night of the Living Dead that hasn't already been said? It speaks for itself. There's no reason for me to stroke the ego of this movie. It's about easily, hands down, the best movie of the 60s.
It's been stroked.
Yeah, it's been stroked. I don't need to stroke it anymore.
Yeah.
There's
Excellent.
from the 60s.
All right. Excellent list, Colonel. Minus 1 or 2 of them.
Deep cut.
There you go. All right.
Wow. Yeah, well, I not surprised with the number 1.
No.
Little surprised with how high number 2 was, but hey, you're the Colonel.
You goddamn right. I know I'm not the only person who's going to have that's watching is going to have Spider Baby high on their fucking list.
Let's find out.
People are going to have my back.
Duh. You got one other person at least. So. Let me go back here a minute.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Nikita was talking about Smile. If you
Smile.
guys were curious, but we may be able to chat about that in the end.
If we do, I'm going to walk away because
You haven't seen it?
It's on Paramount tomorrow, or Paramount or Peacock tomorrow.
Right.
I'm going to watch it.
That's right. Paramount.
We can add that to the beginning of next week too. We can really quickly breeze on that. We want to
Maybe.
give Colonel a chance to check it, and then we can really have an informed answer for you too.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a bunch of lists on here.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to make sure there's nothing that we need to. Okay, Tarek says, never heard of Black Sunday. Neat. Okay, from now on, the notepad is out on the show. Yes. Black Sunday was recommended by a couple of people here in our members chat. After we decided on the topic last week, I was like, throw me some titles. I got a week to study up on this list. So, all right, yeah. And Lorena is excited for Spider Baby. I just saw this one. Now I'm reading the other comments that came below it. She goes, "Yeah, Spider Baby. Fuck off. It's the best movie." I left off all the obvious: Rosemary's Baby, Night of the Living Dead, Hitchcock, etc. The 60s produced some weird shit, and then we'll get to her list here in a second. Well, no, let's just do it now. Lorena's top 10. It's Alive. Number 9, The Psychopath. Number 8, Dementia 13. All of these have exclamation points after them. I love it. Number 7, Black Sunday. Number 6, Lady in a Cage. Exactly. Number 5, Mr. Sardonicus.
Wait a minute, is this a movie list or a list of fucking Lollapalooza in '92? Like, this is. I'm getting confused.
This could be both.
I don't care what you say, Zach. Fuck off.
Hey. Nope. There's it. I couldn't find the right button. God damn.
The womp, womp, womp.
Wah, wah, wah. It works too, yeah.
Hey, I got the. It worked.
Yeah. Number 4, The Sadist. Number 3, The Innocents. Number 2, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. And son of a bitch. Number 1, Spider Baby.
Rain is my people, man.
I'll say about 5 of those would be 11 on my list.
11.
Hey, wait a minute, real quick here. Dave's popping in to say hi real quick. I think he's working. What up, Dave?
What's up, Dave?
That's ham, not bacon.
Yeah. And Lorena says, dishonorable mentions, Manos and The Hands of Fate. All right. And we had another list from Raymond up here. His top 10 starts with 10, Die, Die, My Darling. 9, The Death Curse of Tartu.
Oh, yes.
8, Dracula, Prince of Darkness. 7, The Nanny. 6, Village of the Damned. Yep. 5, The Last Man on Earth. 4, Rosemary's Baby. 3, The Birds. 2, Night of the Living Dead. And number 1, Psycho for him. Excellent list there, Raymond.
I'll tell you what. The Birds probably would have been there. But after watching it again, it did not make the list. It did not hold up.
It did not make your list?
No. I was just really put off by that bullshit overlapping. You know, I mean, it didn't work. It just didn't work, you know. It didn't look good. In a modern viewing, it terrified me as a kid, man. But yeah, it bumped itself right off the list.
Oh gosh, you did this backwards. All right, let me see if I can do this. Joseph has his list, but it's backwards, so I'm going to start in the middle of the text. Number 10, Fearless Vampire Killers, starring Sharon Tate, Charles Manson's victim. Number 9, Day of the Triffids. Number 8, Village of the Damned. Number 7, Curse of the Werewolf. Number 6, The Raven. Number 5, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. Number 4, The Haunting. Number 3, The Birds. Number 2, Night of the Living Dead. And number 1, Psycho. He also adds runners-up are Carnival of Souls, Brides of Dracula, Black Sabbath. Much harder to let go of some of these classics. Peeping Tom was another one, but Peeping Tom ruined the director's career for making the movie way ahead of its time. I think that's what it says, but it ran out of
Tom needed
text.
like one bucket of blood, and it would have been a fucking masterpiece.
Yep. Patricia says, love Barbara Steele. Yeah, I've seen a couple of movies with her in it now, and it was great. Was the Baby a 60s horror? It's freaky as fuck. Spider Baby or The Baby? I'm not sure.
Crank leaned forward and it sounded like he was doing System of a Down. Why'd you leave the keys upon the table?
Why'd you leave the keys upon the table? You wanted to.
Oh my god! So, all right, this is a little side topic. That's one movie I did watch. It wasn't horror related during the week because I've been putting it off. I really needed to watch it, so I watched Weird, the story from Caroline Quebec.
I want to see it.
Not as funny as everybody said, but still funny. It had its moments. Definitely a great spoof of fucking these goddamn movies. But it put me in the mood, like Weird Al mood. Like, man, I haven't listened to Weird Al in a while. Man, for one, my youngest loves Party in the CIA. Not Eat It. Party in the CIA. So I've had to listen to that about 10 times over the weekend.
Wow.
Not so funny anymore. I realize I'm old because I only know the parody version of songs, not the actual song anymore.
Right.
I only hear Weird Al shit. I'm like, fuck, I'm getting old. I don't know these.
Right.
And yeah, I really went back and rediscovered Angry White Boy Polka. That is fucking fantastic. And I only say that because he does do System of a Down and that. So,
Sorry I brought it up.
thank you.
Yeah.
I sidetracked the code for 45 seconds.
Yeah, it was either System of a Down or
God damn it. No. I want to put that with System of a Down.
yes, yes.
Hold on. Hit it again. Hit it again.
Okay, hang on. Wait, you should do the song. Wake up, put a little makeup.
No. You wanted to. You wanted to.
All right,
Okay.
sorry.
Sorry. We're just having fun with ourselves now. Playing with ourselves, I guess. Is that what they're saying? Is that what the kids say?
Hey.
Oh, no. Hey, ho.
Family show.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, see you at church tomorrow. All right. Lorena says, I added the exclamation points, making fun of Crank, poking fun at my enthusiasm. I wasn't poking fun at you. I was actually like just saying I can smell your enthusiasm coming through on the movies that you were throwing out. You just threw out a lot of different movies. You know?
Colonel, let it go.
Let what go?
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I don't know what you're talking about. Dave says the Birds is a snooze fest nowadays. Yeah. Tarek says the Birds was not good, just famous.
Mm.
And Tarek throws in the Baby is 73, a psych thriller. Okay. I see what you guys were talking about up there now. Okay. All right. I think there was one more list. Am I wrong?
More list. No, I thought I saw one. Serena,
Joseph, Lorena, and Raymond's. Nope, that's all I got.
Shit.
All right.
Surprised S&M one in here was a big ass list.
Yeah. Wait.
Dead air, not good.
No, I'm scrolling. I'm looking, just making sure. But
we can talk here, man. So yeah, 1960, man. It was a fantastic, magical trip, man. All right.
All right. Well, Ziggy, it's time for your list anyway. So might as well put him to sleep with your list.
As I talking about a snooze fest, here we go. Blood feast.
You have not seen my list. You don't know, sir. You got some tea for me? You prick you?
I'm about to.
All
Because
right.
you know I'm coming at number 10. Blood feast. I'm like, I fucking knew it.
No. All right. Oh, here we go. The list, the 1960s, and it was a blast putting this together. And honestly, in my mind, a lot of these I thought were the 60s, were in the 50s. So I think we need to fucking do a 50s list too at some point.
Oh, God damn.
I'm telling you, dude, there's so many, even more than the 60s. There's way more of a database.
Not everybody grew up with Saturday afternoon fucking horror movies, Zach. I didn't see all these.
But all of these are free now. You can just watch them. Anyway.
Not all of them.
Right. We're talking about the 60s. So let's, I digressed here, and let's start at number 10. It was one that made me hate plants and always looking for poison plants all over the place. Number 10, The Day of the Triffids.
Don't you work in a greenhouse, asshole?
I do. I'm so sick about it, man. So can you imagine? You know, after you seeing this shit, and you got to go walking through, everything's bigger than you in there. It was nuts. But this movie, yeah, the plants decide to come alive and take over the humans. They eat the humans. They eat dogs. They got like a little gas they spit out at you that blinds you. It's horrible. It's horrible. But a good for number 10 on this list for the 60s, man. This is just letting you know what kind of goofy ass ride. This is the magical, mystical horror ride, you know?
Yeah.
No, you just left some low-hanging fucking fruit that I cannot even touch now. So, just like, God.
Have you ever seen The Day of the Triffids?
No. You just said, I walked in there and everything's bigger than I am. I said, shit, they still are in certain aspects.
Yes.
This list brought to you by 96% THC content. All right, keep going.
Glad. Yes, you put a joke there, right? And you stepped on Colonel's joke. Thank you.
It's okay.
It's all right. I heard it though. That hurts. That hurts. Number 9.
I heard his joke.
Is the first time I got a hold of a Herschel Gordon Lewis film. I saw this one first. 2000 Maniacs. It's short and it's stupid, but this is the kind of shit that inspired The Wrong Turns. This is the kind of shit that inspired The Hills Have Eyes. This is it's very goofy, but it does have some nice gore effects in it, and it's in that glorious blood red that they used back in this time. And it does. It's worth a watch once and then throw it away. It's Number 8.
Number 9 on your list.
Number 8. This one here is a black and white, but again, this one was probably an inspiration for what became Tremors, Blood Beach, stuff like that. The Flesh Eaters. Interesting, you got your German. He's going to help them, of course. He's already on the island. They're on this island. You can't go in the water because you'll be dissolved. You turn into a skeleton. It's wonderful. And pretty good ending, but the effects are brutal in it. But it was just, I love the concept. And this is one that ran on the Saturday show. It seemed 4 times, 5 times a year. You would see the Flesh Eaters on one of them. Number 7, yes, the first one. And again, I say it again. If they had a bucket of blood added to this movie, it would have been a masterpiece. Peeping Tom. If you're a slasher fan, I think it's required studies. You should probably watch this. And it doesn't have much blood in it, man, but it is a cool concept. I see Maniac when I watch this, being inspired by this. Lots of stuff like that. The Stalker, it's cool. It is cool. Number 6, I went. Anytime I can shoehorn an Italian anything on one of my lists, I'm gonna fucking do it. And I got Mario Bava on my list with Blood and Black Lace. It's your typical giallo slasher, you know what I mean? It's got all the thing. It's got the killer in the cloak and the hat and the faceless, but there is some good stuff in it. And I'm telling you, the way they shot it, the killer's standing in an alley at one point with the fog rolling and the lights just right. It's fucking creepy, man. It's a good watch. Definitely check that one out if you haven't seen it. Number 5.
Get ready, Colonel.
The one that started the Blood trilogy. Get the tea ready. Herschel Gordon Lewis and Blood Feast. Yes. It's glorious. I'm going to take a sip, too, because it's that good. It's actually not a great movie. It's got a brutal soundtrack to it. It's just like a couple of bongo drums the whole time. Concept is a guy, he's got a delicatessen, so he's killing people and then appease his god and stuff like that. But the blood is so fucking wild and so red. I just never believed it was 63. It's like, and it still holds up. A lot of people call Herschel Gordon Lewis the godfather of gore, but here in the DCS world, there's only one godfather of gore, and his name is fucking Fulci. Number 4.
Speak for yourself.
Okay. I'm just saying, dog. I'm speaking for me. Number
Beatles
4.
suck.
You said the DCS, though. There's only one for the DCS.
You have to agree with that one. It's not like the other guy there, our American guy. Number 4, 1968. The Satanism shit was riding high. And, I never wanted to watch this movie. I always thought, God damn it, you'd see it as the preview. That was your movie for Saturday Night Dead or Sir Graves Ghastly or Thriller Double Feature, Rosemary's Baby. And you just go, damn it. But then I finally got to sit down and I watched it. And I'm 12, 13 years old. And it's amazing. It's absolutely like she's so sure she's not fucking crazy. And you're hearing that baby cry and stuff. And they just going, it's all in your head. Here, take another pill. And then the very end still makes my hair stand up when they're all just, Hail Satan! And what's wrong with its eyes? That's some shit.
Yep.
It still holds up today. It's a classic. It can be argued as one of the best of the 60s. Hands down. Rosemary's Baby. Number 3, couldn't do a list without getting Mr. Vincent Price on it, and this one is special to me just because, again, saw it 100 times on the Saturday afternoons. It's the Tales of Terror. It's an anthology. You had one called Morella, the Black Cat, and the Facts in the Case of M. Vladimir. Now, he stars in each one of these. They all have, it's a different take on each one. The second one is the best. Peter Lorre's in it. They have like a wine tasting contest, and it's hysterical. It's so silly, but then it gets sinister as, you know, people are getting buried alive in walls and stuff like that. And the Black Cat, you know, is the reason he gets caught, and it's so fucked up and good. But then the end, the last one, the way he's hypnotized. He's got a hypnotist. He's got an incurable disease, almost like leprosy. He's melting, and this guy hypnotizes him, and it prolongs his life. He gets him into these trances, and he's not sick. And finally, it doesn't work anymore, and you see the doctor is really after his money, and he kills him, and then he comes back, and he melts all over him, and it's just disgusting. But I always loved it, man. It is my favorite Vincent Price piece, The Tales of Terror. And available everywhere. I think you can watch that one free. Which leaves only 2 left on this list. Let's see if we can guess which order they're in. Number 2, I love, and it's such both of these films impacted me so hard growing up. But one of them is a better told story and shot much more creatively, and I think that's where differences made me pick the way I did. Number 2, George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead.
Man, turning look at Romero card.
Look at him making excuses for Colonel's benefit right there. And Colonel was already like, nope, fuck this guy. Fuck,
nope. All right. Now, Night of the Living Dead. Yes, it's great. You got the friction with the people trying to stay alive. Oh my God. You're gonna have to mute him and close his camera there because I got to get this out. I'm gonna keep talking. And then the fucking ending of Night of the Living Dead. This was the first gut punch I ever received from a horror movie when he survives the fucking night. He's looking out the window and gets capped right between the fucking eyes. It just ripped my fucking shit out. I hated this movie for years because of it, but then I realized this movie elicited such a response out of me that's why it's that fucking good. The only thing that could possibly rival Night of the Living Dead in the 60s for me was Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho at number 1, because the shower scene, the angles they picked, that fucking stinger, sharp music that led to inspire Harry Manfredini for Friday the 13th and all kinds of shit like that. This all comes together. Just the whole way Norman Bates is played by Anthony Perkins, the voices, the throwing you know, Marion Crane murdered in the first half hour of the fucking movie, who you think is the star. You don't know where this movie's coming from. It's brutal, and it still fucking holds up. It's still great when the cop gets it at the staircase, that angle when he comes right at him, the fucking end when Norman comes in and you see his face and the psychotic look and the smile. So fucking good, and absolutely deserves to be number 1 on the 60s list. I'm not saying you're wrong, Colonel, for having Night of the Living Dead there. And it was hard for me, but in the end, Psycho had way more of an effect and scared me a lot more growing up than Night of the Living Dead did.
I can see that. I mean, if Psycho was only a 10-year-old movie when I was old enough to watch it, I'd probably think it's scary.
I gotta mute myself again.
That's okay. I'm being.
Can you feel the love tonight?
That was a good one. I can't argue. When people put Psycho number 1, I can't argue that. There's no argument against it. I can't. So.
Well, and again, that's why I said I knew you'd have Night there, and I went back and forth for a little bit, but then I went, no. Psycho was more impactful to me at that. I mean, but the fucking ending of Night of the Living Dead is among my greatest of all time, just because of how that shit went down. I was just after that fucking struggle like that.
Fucking bummer, man. Like, that's why Night of the Living Dead is the best movie of the 60s. That's one of the reasons. Sorry.
It is. It's good. It's right there. It's just a tick behind for me. Yes. I'll live with it.
I can't say you're wrong. I just said I can't argue with it. I can give you shit, but I can't argue with it.
Well, I love Night of the Living Dead too. You know that. So
Just turn your Romero card though. See, that's why you never was lucky enough to meet George, because you put Psycho above Night of the Living Dead on your top 10 list from the 60s.
Oh my God.
It's not like he meant it.
What a dick.
What a dick.
Yeah, that's and dude, I was like going to that Motor City to meet him, and I was like, I said it. I'll catch him at the next one.
Wah, wah. Wait.
Fantastic.
I actually hit the right button this time. I'm glad that wasn't.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Good list, Siggy. Good list.
That was a good one.
Patricia says, the birds scared me, still does. I have a ton of huge crows around my house sometimes, and they freak me out.
As a kid, yes, but then I watched it specifically for this tonight, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, man, that looks so bad. I mean, it's not even close. Like the screens don't even match.
Spoiler alert, that's what my story is about coming up when we get to it on my list. So I'll tell you that here in a minute. Lorena says, yes, do a 50s list. Give us time. Give us time, and we will, because it looks like both Colonel and I are going to have to invest some time on that.
I think you'll both be surprised at what you have actually seen.
Raymond says, I swear I thought he was going to say Little Shop of Horrors.
I do.
I couldn't have done that.
Not that one. That one's pretty out there. Faye says,
Day of the Triffids, right? Oh,
yeah.
Fuck.
Faye says, I like plants. Never seen Day of the Triffids. Kind of want to now. And then Lorena says, Faye, I gave you a VHS copy of Day of the Triffids. So.
I also left off my list Color Me Blood Red from the third in the Herschel Gordon, trilogy, the Blood trilogy. I just couldn't do it, man. I just those other ones mean more to me, and that one is just more the beatnik. It's a neat concept. An artist discovers that blood is the perfect color to get all the critics to worship him, but the delivery is not great, and it's the least bloodiest of all his movies.
All right.
So what's the second one titled? You got red on you?
Got a little red on you.
Got a little red on you, yeah. Tarek says, oh my God, Ziggy, do not tell your coworkers that Triffids made your list. Oh, the pranks. You could have fun with that.
That's not bothering me now. Fuck.
Patricia mentions, Herschel was such a great dude. He signed every movie I had for free. Nice. She goes on to say, him and his wife were super sweet and wonderful to talk to. Tarek says, honestly, Tales of Terror sounds fun. I'm going to find that.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's short, too. They're, 3 short episodes. I think they're, 20 minutes apiece or something.
Joseph, this is good. I went to the schoolhouse in Bodega Bay, California from the movie The Birds, and a bird flew by and crapped on my head. That's just karma. That is karma right there, baby.
Luck. That's good luck, apparently. What was
That's
it?
right.
Bird shits on it. It's good luck. No, it's fucking not.
Well,
Shit on by a bird, man.
Andy says, they always say how Psycho was based on Geen, and I got to say, well, that's quite a stretch. Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. But so was the idea of Texas Chainsaw Massacre being based on him, too. So
I think it's the part of his stuffing his mother.
Right.
Taxidermy stuff. That's probably. All I could really take from that.
I'm just saying, majority of horror movies, it says based on a true story. I'm fucking checked out already. Like, okay, I'll watch this.
True story.
Why'd you put the keys above the table? Tarek says, Psycho gets props for being the first at killing a major character early. Sean Bean has been carrying the torch since.
That's the fucking truth, man.
No shit. That's fun. That's... Where is it? Nope. There it is. It's in there somewhere, but...
We got to get the candle after you. I don't have that yet.
I got to get these marked so I don't have to like hit them all.
I forgot what this one does. Here, let's see here. This will be fun.
As a matter of fact, that was.
It's still there. All right.
Oh, here we go. Faye says, she gave me like 500 VHS tapes. It's going to take me a few years to catch up. I'll get the day of the Triffids someday. Raymond wants to know if we've seen the Ed Gein movie with Kane Hodder. Yes. I believe
Right.
I have.
Unfortunately, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Not great.
Very,
but,
not good.
yeah, not great, but it is what it is.
That movie no good, huh?
There weren't that many movie adaptations of Gein's story that were worth a damn. Andy, you mentioned one a while back when we got on this topic, and I can't remember what it was. But if you're, and maybe Lorena did too, I can't remember. But since you guys are from up in that respective area, they're just all bad. He says. Lorena says, except Ed Gein the musical. Oh, Jesus, you know what? I'm going to have to take your word on that because I don't know if I'm going to look that one up.
I think I expected something to bring that up.
I don't know if I can look up Ed Gein the musical. I don't think I can. That's just all right. Should I get to my list and get this
Let's get
done with?
I just know your pajama pants sucks, huh?
Do what?
I seen your pajama pants. You suck.
Huh. Oh, when I cross my legs, yeah.
Yeah.
I got all the plaids, baby.
Fucking basic ass white.
Yeah, because I don't leave the house in these. These are just my house ones.
Mine are way better. Don't did you? I got
Ooh, ooh.
baby. Yeah.
Oh,
Did you see that the Monster Squad fucking lounge pants coming out tomorrow on Friday? I was like, gonna buy those. Sorry.
I just got a notice on here that says, whoa, you've got a lot of files. Each brand is limited to 100 files, images, videos. Please delete some before uploading more. So I got to get rid of one to get this last.
Why'd you leave the files on the table?
Right. There's a bunch of files in there. We do need to trim some of those videos that we never use out. But
on
we
here?
we also had a ton of overlay images for the posters this time around too. So that's why it's been maybe acting kind of funky on my end tonight. By the way, the reason I keep looking over here is not because I have two teenage or young girls tied up in my corner and I'm just making sure they don't get away. That's where my list is. So.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
That was the reference I was throwing out. But
now I'm pretty sure you have two tied up teenage girls in your fucking corner.
no, that's where my TV is. That's where my list is that I can see on the second screen.
Let me tell them this. And I'm like, they won't believe it.
There you go.
Man, what you got that little girl's head popping out behind the fucking screen? I've seen it.
Help me!
No, he's got like a pulley system where he turns that, it all pulls her, drags her the other way, out of the frame.
That would be so clever, but I'm not. Potato. All right. All right. So, like I said, I did not really see a bunch of these when I was younger. There were only a few that I do remember seeing back in the day and enjoying. Some really stuck in my head, and I rewatched. Some really stuck in my head, and I didn't need to rewatch. Like most of my top 3. But
baby.
say that again.
Nothing. I'll wait.
No, say it again. I'm just curious.
Rosemary Baby's number 2 and Psycho's number 1.
Okay, yeah, probably. Yeah, of course. Because
I was definitely going to top this list.
I respect the classics. So, number 10 for me is one I did not get to watch this week, and I really, really wanted to, but I do remember several images of it and several lines and moments from the movie sticking in my head, and 2 classic roles and actresses. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, number 10. Holy shit, Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. And I didn't like the show that much, but I love the look inside from Ryan Murphy, like Nikita was mentioning earlier, called Feud, which was the telling of the making of this movie. And the battles that Betty Davis and Joan Crawford have. If you didn't watch that, look it up and check that out. But yeah, this movie's just creepy. And one other thing I want to talk about, well, I'll get to it here in a minute. Number 9 for me was one that was, son of a bitch, really? Was recommended. This is why some of these did not upload. Because we have too much shit in here. But number 9 for me was recommended by one of the viewers and members. I actually finished it today. I have not seen a very decent interpretation of this story in a while, but I did like this one, The Innocents, based on Henry James' Turn of the Screw. This was a good telling of it, and it was very simple in its storytelling. Obviously, since it was the 60s, you couldn't really get too heavy into the effects or anything like that. So, but I really enjoyed this. I believe Lorena mentioned this, and possibly Patricia. Maybe some others. If I got that wrong, I apologize. But I know a couple of you did. Now Colonel's checking on the 2 girls he's got tied up in his corner.
Yeah, but they're in their 20s.
All right, number 8, Black Sunday. Another one that was recommended that I had never seen before. I dug it, man. I kind of dug this one. And this is this is a Hammer, correct? Or does it just have some Hammer performers in it?
Pretty sure it just has some Hammer performers in it, but
Okay.
not 100%.
Okay. This one kind of made me interested in checking out a little more Hammer, because as I was doing a little research while watching the movie, I stumbled into some other things, and I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. So, kudos. But Black Sunday is mine, number 8. Number 7, hold on to your hats there, Colonel, because it's fucking Spider Baby. I actually kind of dug this movie, and here's something you guys kept from me about this movie up until fucking today. No one had ever mentioned that Sid Haig was in it.
What?
No one had.
Common knowledge.
What the he's Colonel, that's all he ever fucking talks about.
No one had ever, even if he had, I just zoned out. And maybe I did zone out whenever he started talking about Spider Baby, because it was just like, okay. And maybe I did. And if I did, I apologize, Colonel. But Sid was great in this. The 2 kids were good in this for the time. Lon Chaney Jr., but you know, it is what it is. But I actually kind of dug this story, and I dug this movie the way it was done. So,
Now, let me ask you this. When you watched it, did you imagine me being in the scene when the male Nina crawls in through the fucking window?
ooh, no, but now I do. And
No, remember Colonel's Crypt? It's one of my skits.
oh yeah. No, but I'll have to go and watch your Colonel's Crypt again.
Well, there's only like one of them, so.
No, there's like 4 or 5.
I know.
Are you kidding me? This one didn't. Jesus, I don't think any of mine. Well, mine were the last ones to upload. So yeah, none of mine
dump those
uploaded.
while you're moving along there?
No, I'm working on it. I'm getting it. All right, number 6 for me. But yeah, thank you guys for the Spider Baby recommendation and pushing me to actually watch it. Because I'm not saying it would stay in my top 10 list if I watched more than 12 1960s horror movies, but it's there for now. Number 6. It's been mentioned, yeah. It really doesn't hold up. I'm sure the effects were great in the 60s, but it doesn't fucking hold up. And I'm going to give you a perfect example here in a second. Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. I have a friend, my friend Julian, who cannot watch a modern day horror movie at all. Like, he would get freaked out if he showed up at my house when we were playing Friday the 13th, the game. And he would pop in sometimes at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and just be like, hey, what's going on? You hanging out tonight? I'm like, no, I'm playing the video game. He'd look at the screen. He'd be like, nope, fuck this shit, I'm out. And just turn around and leave. He hates everything horror movies. He was over at my house the other day, and honestly, I was trying to get rid of him because he had been there for a couple hours. I was like, dude, I got to watch some horror movies. And he was like, what are you watching? I was like, I'm going to watch The Birds. And he was like, All right, go ahead. I was like, really? I was like, okay. I started, and we watched the whole thing. And even he at the end was just, not even at the end, like halfway through, he was just like, man, this is more funny than it is horror. I was like, it's 60 years old, man. So, yeah, it is what it is. But he's right. It does not hold up.
I don't dislike it. I just
No, I don't dislike it.
It just fell out of the numbers to make the list. That's all.
Yeah. No, I don't dislike it. And I can understand its significance in the 60s for sure. But yeah, it would. I think this one is one that would slowly drop out. The top.
What you did there.
The top 5 would probably not drop out of the top 10 anytime soon for me, but they may shuffle the bottom 2 of those may shuffle around a little bit. The top 3 I think are always going to be my top 3, but that's just me. Number 5 for me, it's kind of funny. Yeah, 5 for me, because I think I was watching this at the same time one of you, Raymond, recommended this. It was Village of the Damned. And I kind of even like John Carpenter's remake of this from the 90s. Yeah. It's not great, but it's not bad. But this movie I always dug because I've said it before, I like it when they can find kids that are decent actors or excellent actors. These kids weren't great actors, but they were decent actors, and the way they were made up made it creepy. And kids are fucking creepy most of the time. So it's just that added element to this for me. And rewatching, this is one I had seen in the past, and rewatching, completely. This one still holds up to me. No, the effects aren't super great. But the story is good. The acting is good. The overall feel of it is pretty good. But I've always liked this movie.
That's a good movie. Believe it, that was on my top 10. But I had to take it out. I was like,
just didn't hold up for you.
Didn't hold up. Like I said, still a good movie. I still enjoy watching it.
Mm-hmm.
It has moments, you know what I mean? There's just too much in between the action, you know.
There was
going on.
Yeah, there was a lot of exposition, especially in the first act, you know. But I like that when the event happens and they're sending like the army guy in tied to the rope and he just drops and they have to drag him back.
Yeah.
And they kind of show that happen to different people, you know, a couple of times, and I like the way they were setting that up. They had to in the 60s for these audiences, so I get it. Number 4 for me was also recommended, but I had seen it before. I mentioned that I think Orlando brought this one up. I mentioned it was.
Hold on a second. Lan says kids are fucking creepy most of the time. Crank, spitting truth like Socrates.
Am I wrong? I mean, I love kids, but some of them are fucking creepy, man. But no, Orlando mentioned this one. It was already on my list. I just didn't know where on my list, but it crept into the top 5. It's Peeping Tom.
Yeah.
I appreciate this for what it is. I appreciate this for kind of being even a precursor to Psycho, as like that slasher style killer that would dominate the 80s, you know, and even late 70s.
Maniac for me, dude. I just kept thinking Maniac, man.
Maniac also. Yeah.
I definitely must have been a fan of this.
Yeah. But just a pretty interesting movie. Again, not great, but interesting to watch. And I think you mentioned it. It's definitely worth watching if you are trying to study up on, you know, the filmography of slashers and delving into that world.
You have to. It's required.
Yeah. If you're a cinephile, it's definite required viewing. Number 3, Colonel, what is it?
I don't know. It's going to surprise me.
Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well,
Number 3 for me.
They're well produced enough to be in his top 3.
Number 3 for me, Night of the Living Dead. Yes, they've said it. Changed the genre, or introduced a new genre, I should say. Romero is one of the best storytellers in horror film history. I will say that much. What? The number one?
Take that fucking shirt off.
Hey,
Yeah, you don't deserve that shirt.
So your Romero card got revoked tonight, son.
you suck it, man. Dawn is still up in my number 1, buddy. You know this.
Put this dick in your mouth. Why'd you put this dick in your mouth?
I was gonna say something. You fucked me up, man. Damn it.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, come on, guys. We're live.
Number 3. Yeah, we can't edit this out later.
Right?
Breathe. Everybody breathe.
Yep. All right.
All right. So, George Romero, one of the best storytellers in all of horror. This completely began a lucrative, maybe not lucrative, but a groundbreaking career, and I appreciate that. But
This movie wasn't fucking lucrative for him.
no, this movie was not lucrative for him, but it spawned a legend. You know, it spawned an icon, and thank you to George Romero for everything he did and starting it off with this.
His vision, his gift, his story.
I'll leave it at that. What's my number 2, Colonel?
No, Rosemary's Baby. I'd see Psycho being number 1 for you.
Rosemary's Baby, absolutely. Yep. Jesus Christ, this movie's a fucking masterpiece. It doesn't hold up as much today, but you know, society is different, and that's pretty much the only. You know, the world is different. But when this came out, like Ziggy mentioned, everyone was freaked out by, ooh, Satanism. Ooh, you know, that was a threat being pushed on teens and kids and even young adults. Like, be careful of these Satanists out there. They're looking for you. They're trying to recruit you. It was a fear that was just overly pushed and promoted when this movie came out. And this movie took advantage of it, and the acting's great, the cinematography is great. That ending, like Ziggy mentioned, is one of the best endings in horror. It really fucking is. There's not many movies, especially from the 60s, that have an ending like that. But what's my number 1, Colonel?
Psycho.
Psycho.
Oh.
Psycho has that ending also. And from one of the masters of suspense, Hitchcock, I cannot talk about Anthony Perkins' role as Norman Bates in this enough. He plays it flawlessly. And I love also the fact that, you know, 28 years later, he came back and did Psycho 2. And that had to have been one of the first ever kind of legacy sequels.
Fucking good, too.
And it was excellent. It was still 26 years later, so fucking good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I had seen bits and pieces of Psycho before I saw Psycho 2. I don't think I had ever seen like the 45-minute Marion Crane, you know, escape scene.
Yeah, stealing the money.
Seen, yeah, I had pretty much only seen from arriving at the hotel on.
Because they got the whole ride there. It's in her head. She's picturing what she's got to say, and then what they're saying she's picturing, and then the cop following her and shit. Dude, you're so fucking misdirected by the time she gets whacked.
Right.
It's like a reset, man. It's like, it's stunning.
Yeah, but now it's not, because everyone kind of knows it. You know, even if you've never seen the movie, you know what's going to happen.
Oh, it's so good, though, in that door.
So,
shadow.
I don't think you have to watch that first 45 minutes anymore. I think you can start, you know, close to the hotel. and then introduce that movie to somebody, and then go right into Psycho 2. And it works seamlessly, to me, anyway. But yeah, that's my top 10 for the 1960s. And thank you. If we do this again, that bottom 5 may be completely fucking different. I'll admit, because there's a lot in there that I kept looking for, and I was like, I don't want to spend $7 on renting this. I just don't.
I mean, the House of Usher.
That would probably be in there if I had. Well, maybe not.
Black Sunday for sure. You know,
Pit and the Pendulum almost made it.
Pendulum, you know, I mean, it's right there. Just that one, you know, it's good, but
Right.
yeah.
Pit and the Pendulum almost made it, but not quite.
Not bad though, guys, for the '60s and a bunch of guys that weren't around for the entire time. That's we did pretty good.
Tarek says, never seen Colonel lose it. That was gold.
It rarely happens. It's only
It's occasional.
the third time.
It's a joy when it happens, but it's like rare, like a unicorn.
Holly was loving it. Hilarious. Phase. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Raymond decided to sing with us. He wanted to. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that was, good Lord. Yeah, and Lorena just jumped on something I was thinking about here while we were doing this. We could do a top 5 of just Vincent Price films.
Yeah,
That's something to think about in the future for sure. We will do
that'd
that.
be a fun one.
Yeah, that would be a fun one.
That's easy, and that's a joy. That'd be a pleasure to watch all.
Number 1, 10 Commandments.
Edward Scissorhands.
Good Lord.
The voiceover thriller.
Thriller. Yeah. No, that would be my number 2.
Hey,
Sorry,
I
that's my
like
number
that.
2.
I like that one.
I actually already thought about that while I was thinking about what would we do a top 5.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean? I'm not even sure I want to read that movie or read that comment.
Oh, I must go now and see.
No.
Let's see.
All right, Tarek says, I need to mash up this movie no good with the music behind No Woman, No Cry.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, and there we go. Tarek. Oh, shit. Tarek says, Jesus, what, Crank? Holy Lord. Oh, yeah, explain the fucking reference. There we go. And here BK says, if any of you have teenagers tied up, it's definitely Crank. Thanks. I appreciate that.
You do have a van. Just
Oh,
saying.
I have what?
A van.
A van? I do, but I haven't driven it in over a year.
Well, that's
Well,
probably where you put
moving
that.
now.
Yeah.
You know what he does for these fucking poor girls? He gives them fucking monster fucking Takis to eat and just plays BTS all day.
Oh, good Lord. I'm just going to keep reading the comments for any of those. All right. Joseph says Feud was awesome. Yes, agree. Tarek says the Colonel wins the Nobel Prize for mumbling retorts. None of us heard you, but we know what you said. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, Lorena. Yep, I love The Innocents. Yes.
I'm sure I've seen it, but I definitely.
Lorena says, yes, Patty, we converted him. Spider baby. I'm not saying you converted me, but it made a top 10 where I've seen maybe 12 to 14 movies. So
It don't matter. It's still on your top 10 list.
for now.
I'm glad they were able to talk you into it. I'm only talking about this movie for 5 fucking years now.
Fucking 2 seconds.
Patricia says, about time, Crank. I told you I was going to watch it. I told you. Carrie says, not quite 60s, but A Clockwork Orange was another freak-out movie. Love that movie.
That's another one that was on television all the time on that
Yep.
early pay TV, and it'd be like you'd be watching it, and then of course, my mom walks in right when they got the naked girl. They were kind of playing tug of war with her, at that one scene of that tunnel,
Mm-hmm.
when her full bush is showing and everything. Yeah, it wasn't a good thing for 8-year-olds to be watching at that time. So, yeah.
No, you don't say. Patricia says, I enjoy both Village of the Damned movies as well. Excellent. Lorraine says, seriously read anything by John Wyndham. The Midwich Cuckoos, which is what Village of the Damned is based on. Day of the Triffids, The Kraken Wakes, anything. All spooky. Patricia says, watch Bloody Birthday, another movie with creepy killer kids. Okay, I'll check it out. Maybe not this week, because I need to modernize myself for the next at least week or so. Good Lord.
The mother of all Children of the Damned ripoffs, The Children.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that one.
God damn it. It ruined what could have been a glorious triple feature. But, yeah, that one was no good. It's so 80s, though, that you almost it's next to Boarding House here, you know? It's like, yeah, it's a piece of shit, but I got to have it. Mausoleum, fuck yeah. I love that couple.
Just say Julie Yad Brown.
Oh.
Okay, hold on. Peter Anthony says, what's up with the aforementioned script film that you gents were working on? Oh, nothing. Nothing.
That means makes me think of something.
That we haven't worked on in a while.
Oh, right, but I saw him announce something today that I'm concerned now.
Oh.
Hang around, Peter. We'll talk to you later.
Peter, yeah, congratulations. I saw that you got signed for a trilogy, it looked like. Yeah, interesting.
What?
So, as an actor, though.
Yes.
So, good for you, man. Congrats. Love to hear some more. All right, there's where Colonel lost it. There we go. Tarek, I think this is where I left off. Tarek says, I love the gurgling death whisper of Satanism panic that was the D&D fear of the mid-'80s. Yeah, that started in the mid-'60s and then turned into the D&D fear of the mid-'80s. I remember that shit. Which is funny.
Iron Maiden, Judas Priest fear in the 80s.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just went on and on and on with those fools.
Right. I was in a bookstore with somebody not too long ago, and they had this entire section of D&D stuff. And I was like, man, these are the days. Because in my time, you had to go to some dark alley, like small little in the corner of some fucking strip mall, like barely had the electricity on in the place to find Dungeons and Dragons stuff. And now it's like Barnes and Noble has an entire room set for it. So back to the better days, I guess. Tarek says, Pit and the Pendulum was the first example. The book was better. Here we go. Tarek says, yeah, the top 5 of Vincent Price is so approved just to see you three disagree. You guys love it when we disagree, don't you?
He's on a roll tonight, too, man.
It is entertaining, I will say that much.
It's a Vincent Price. How could we fucking possibly be... None of us would be wrong in any of them.
No, but that would be a fun one.
Yeah, sure.
That would be a fun one.
I love it.
Joseph says, if you guys ever get the chance, watch the movie Hitchcock starring Anthony Hopkins. It's a look at what was going on in Hitchcock's life while he was filming Psycho. The reenactment of the audience's first reaction in the shower is great.
Yep. I still have that recommendation from the summer, bro. It's in my book. I just haven't got to it yet. I certainly will.
I think I saw that. Was that mid-'80s? Late 80s?
No. That's more recent.
Well, not if Anthony... Who?
Hopkins?
Hopkins, okay.
Yeah.
Was it more recent? I thought that was...
90 now, man, so...
I thought that was older for something. Something tells me I've seen that, and I can't remember what it was.
We'll figure that one out.
Yeah. I'm curious, though. I think I've seen it.
Hello, Carrie. Welcome. We love you, too.
She's been here.
I just noticed she's putting a comment here.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, man. Andy says 80s also had the Satanic Panic with Geraldo, etc., and Sally Jesse. Yes, that was true.
You're right.
Crazy show, guys. Fuck. Fun list though, and yeah. Thanks for sending you guys' list in. We noticed not many of you did. So someone did not do their homework like we did, like we had to.
It's tough. I understand, but then I was happy to walk back through those those decades, that decade, and just see the whole thing. And there's a lot there, man. And like I said, I think Ray posted it up there earlier. It was like 236 entries for the 60s.
Good Lord.
Horror movies.
Yeah. Another one I watched that did not make my list, mostly because I just didn't think it was necessarily enough horror, was Wait Until Dark with Audrey Hepburn. Man, I really enjoyed that one. I think I had seen that one back in my youth, but that one just completely left my brain. But that was a pretty good one. Where she plays the blind woman.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. So, anything else that, Colonel, you left off your list that you wanted to kind of give an honorable mention?
No, because I knocked off Village of the Damned, put The Brain That Wouldn't Die in its place, because The Brain That Wouldn't Die would have been an honorable mention. This is an update. So, finally bit the bullet, rented Terrifier 2, because it looked like Screenbox didn't have a free trial. I was like, son of a bitch.
Really?
I ordered one, I couldn't find it.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, so I rented this fucker for like $11, so my oldest could watch it because she loved the first Terrifier movie.
Mm-hmm.
I disowned this fucking child after this one. Oh, it's boring. Oh, it's just a lot of gore. You know, I don't like gore. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what this was when we rented it? Like,
What did she like so much about the first one?
I thought the gore. I don't know. But
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, you got to think. I let her watch that first one. She was like 9. Well, no, she wasn't 9, but she was probably around 10. Like, she's probably too young to me to let her watch it. But she's always been a mature kid. She knows there's a difference between reality and fucking film. So I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And she fucking loved it. And she still likes to watch it. Terrifier 2, fuck no. She's like,
Wow.
Seriously,
That's crazy.
Yeah, no.
Well,
It's like, go watch your fucking ghost movies, you fucking nerd, is what I wanted to say, but I didn't.
Well, but also congratulations to her for honor student.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and
I
and
got it.
your younger one for whatever award she got.
Star Student of the Week.
Star student. That's right.
Stars. 72 BK for Who Slew Auntie Roo. He's asking, what year did that come out? 1972.
Zag was a wee 12 years old.
Good Lord. Maybe a breakup brewing in the DCS.
What the hell is going on, man?
You kidding me? He's like the youngest looking one out of the three of us.
Hey, that's true though. I can't argue with that. That's true. Something came to me while I was watching some of these 60s movies, and I was just kind of curious about where do you think we, like, mentally or emotionally got our desire for horror from? Like, where do you think we got it individually? Was it an upbringing thing? Was it because we were introduced to it by people we adored or loved or liked? Where do you think you got your love of horror? I'll start with Ziggy, just out of curiosity, if you can even answer this.
I think it was always there. I was always fond of Halloween at an early age, but my dad used to show us, they would turn on those Saturday morning. I'd see them. I remember seeing them being real little, and then we started doing the Super 8s. We talked about this before on we had the Super 8. You'd buy them at Kmart. They would be like little 7 to 10 minute cuts of Dracula, Frankenstein, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Creature Walks Among Us, Dracula versus Frankenstein. I said that one, but we'd sit in the hallway and watch it on the wall. And I, at 5 years old, 6 years old, and then I got taken to see Alien, and then shortly thereafter Zombie, and it started with that. I was hooked. But I never missed those Saturday ones. So it was there. It was there early. I think it was there early though. I think I was always attracted to the Frankenstein, the images of the the monsters and stuff like that. Skulls, always.
Nice.
So I think it was
Colonel,
always there.
Colonel, do you have a genesis for this for you?
I really think it was more upbringing. I mean, literally everybody in my family watches horror to some extent. Fucking everybody. I'm the only one that went fucking nuts with it. Because, as a kid growing up, I was a real big fan of Ghostbusters movies, the real Ghostbusters cartoons. So I was already used to seeing ghosts and shit. And like I said, one of my earliest memories, my grandmother on my mom's side passed away when I was like 4 or 5. So I don't have a whole lot of memories of her, but one memory is walking into her house with my mom, and she's chilling, just fucking watching Child's Play. Like, she rented the fucking VHS and people watching Child's Play. I'm just like watching it with her, like, what's this? So I just think it's a real upbringing. Just everybody's like, hey, you can check this out, And then, like I said, they were here. I took it fucking here.
Right.
So,
So both of you and I think kind of clump myself into this explanation as well. Both of you kind of seem to say it was introduced to you by people you loved, and you just grasped onto it.
My brother too. He would also, hey, look at this. He'd see something scary. I mean, you couldn't pause shit, so you would know. And then this is before the VCRs even and everything. So a lot of it was, he'd go get a Halloween mask and set up this elaborate, you have to walk in the bedroom and he's behind the door and it's all fucked up, but I mean, I loved it. Even as a 3-4-year-old. I mean, I have memories of liking the scared part and the scary stuff. Oh, that's neat. I don't know why.
I think I'm the same way because, like, I remember my dad letting me watch like King Kong, like the 80s or the 70s version. I remember watching that all the time on TV. I remember my dad, I believe, letting me watch at least the second half of Psycho. And if we did watch the first half of Psycho, I probably just zoned it out because it was so boring to me as a 7-year-old, 6-year-old, or whatever. Maybe I just tuned it out and didn't really pay attention to it until later when I saw it. But I remembered watching that. But I also remember my dad not letting me watch The Shining. But then after my dad went to bed, my mom came and got me and was like, hey, they're re-showing The Shining, so come on, on it, or whatever it was that we had. So my mom snuck me out to watch it. And then, of course, my brother, who I idolized at the time, not so much anymore, but, he took me to Friday the 13th, Part 1 and 2, the double feature in the drive-thru, and that cemented everything in my mind from that. So, yeah, I think it was just, I was just curious about that because I don't think any of us have necessarily that dark of a side of our personality, but we are drawn to it in art and films, and even you guys in music. So I don't know. I would, me, overthinking shit. But
I wish I still had it. When I was 10, I ordered through Fangoria magazine a Tom Savini latex. It was all like it was a script. It was hand typed and shit, dude. I mean, it'd be some shit to have now. I remember tossing it when we redid the basement. It was kind of damaged, But I mean, I tried to get into that shit, but I mean, I fucking melted all the rubber wrong and everything, and I was using the stove upstairs in the kitchen. It just didn't work out. I didn't have that touch to do that kind of stuff, But always fascinated by the gory effects, the slices, the stabs, heads getting ripped off, blown off with a shotgun. Always.
Now, let me ask you this, Colonel. Have you ever personally met anyone whose love of horror took them to too dark of a place? Do you know anybody that's a little outside the norm, if you would?
Hold on. Before I was about to get fucking clawed by a cat. She was going to try to get my lap. Off the top of my head, no. I don't think so.
Okay. Ziggy, you?
Absolutely not. Everybody
Yeah.
understood it's art and it's, you know, it's not real. You know,
Right.
to my knowledge, I've never seen a horror movie that turned out to be a snuff film. So, I mean, I think I'd be able to tell the difference.
How many snuff films have you seen?
I'm saying, to my knowledge, I don't think I've seen any.
Probably around 76, 77 now.
I've seen probably 3. I can't remember what this website was. It was around back in the early 2000s, but it was just vile.
Oh yeah, it does nothing for me. I don't even. Yeah, just the thought of even watching that, I'm not interested in that. I mean, I've seen.
Oh, had the beheading video from Iraq, and it had.
Stuff, I've seen that, and that doesn't do anything for me.
It had a couple of like dating video, like sex videos where the girl is executed in the middle of it, and I was like, that's enough. I don't need to see any more of this. But my boss at the time was fascinated by it.
Oh, yeah.
He would just watch it all the fucking time, and it was some guy's name. It was like a guy's name was in the website, but my boss would just like invite me back to his office, like, hey, you gotta come see this, and I'm like, is it another one of those things? And I'm like, no, I'm good. But
hey, Craig, come to my office. You got to see this.
yeah, no, I knew where you were going.
Did your entrance to your boss's office have those fucking beads?
No. No.
I knew as a kid I couldn't walk through those beads. I wasn't allowed back there.
I'll tell you what, I did help with the remodel of that business though, and my office ended up being twice as big as his once we got done with the remodel, and he didn't like that one bit.
You
What were
didn't
you gonna
accept
say?
any drinks or anything when you were there in the presence?
Oh, we drank a lot. Yeah, that was back in my like almost 24/7 alcoholic days. But no. I don't even know if he noticed.
I don't think he did. I almost guarantee though, there was a fucking black couch in his boss's office. Crazy.
No, I had the black couch. I had the black leather couch in my office. Pimp.
Yeah, those poor girls. Jake, you want a job?
Hey, it was the early 2000s. I was a lot younger then. Doesn't make it any better, but I also drank a lot. Tarek says, no, I never did anything like that. Shut up. Now, my boss, that's a different story. Tarek says there should be a DCS-specific reboot episode of Celebrity Deathmatch. We got to be celebrities first.
Yeah. Hey, we kind of are. We're like Y-listers.
Y-list?
Y-listers? Damn, I like that.
Who would be the Z? Never mind. Don't answer that.
I wouldn't say I don't know who. I'll say we were definitely the Z-listers.
Yeah. Wait, what was it? The Loud something or other? Yeah. That was the Z show there.
Stupid bitch.
He's talking to his cat, I'm sure, folks.
Yeah.
Andy says, I remember being a kid wishing we lived in a decrepit Gothic haunted house and there were no goddamn goths back then. Nice. Tarek also says, I always had a toe into horror while my focus was sci-fi. So obviously when the two tie up, it's always amazing to me, from Alien to Event Horizon to Signs to The Fourth Kind. Nice.
Well done.
Here we go. Carrie says, my love of horror kicked in properly when my ex broke up with me and I binge watched Halloween. See, and there you go. That's not a bad place to discover it.
It's an escape. I love it.
Yeah, as an escape, or, just something to, like, your comfort zone, Tarek says, future top 10, no rules, just your personal top 10 films you would say are both science fiction and horror. Did we do a sci-fi horror list already?
I don't
I
think
want to
so.
say we did. But
I remember it's on that. It could be on that master list, but I'll have to go back and double check.
I'd have to look.
I don't know.
That doesn't sound familiar at all.
No, you know what? Now that I think about it, maybe.
I don't know. Andy says the Faces of Death movies were so fake. Yes. Yes, they were. But this was something, what I'm talking about that was on, this had to have been literally late 90s, early 2000s, because it was before I started the magazine, and that would have been in 2001. And so 98 to 2001, somewhere in there, there was a website that had some of the most horrific shit on it. And that's what I'm talking. Now, some of that was fucking real. Some of it was probably fake too, but some of it was fucking real.
I've seen fake snuff films for sure. But I'm saying one that's actually real, there's no way. There's no way. There's just something about it you can just tell. Like when there's not a life in a body, it's a different thing,
Faye says, hard to say when I got into horror. I just watched them with my parents. It feels like I was always meant to enjoy horror, regardless of how I got there. Excellent. All right, fair enough. Raymond says, I stumbled on the original airing of It on TV and then off to the races. I think I was 7 or 8. How did It affect you as a 7 or 8-year-old? Did clowns bother you when you were a kid? Just kind of curious follow-up question for you there, Raymond. Lorena says, Faye, as I remember getting you and Kelly to watch any creature feature, Nightmare Theater, etc. that was on. Good mother right there. Good mother.
We had, man. I thought about all of them. Everything they had in Detroit. There was the creature feature. They had, but the best ones were Scream Theater, a Thriller double feature, and Saturday Night Dead were the best ones.
Carrie says, my friend was the manager of our local Blockbuster Video. He used to lend me his band collection. Nice.
What do they call them? The Video Nasties.
The Video Nasties over
Video
there.
Nasties.
That's right.
That's right.
Holly says, I think Halloween was so fun back when we were young. I think everything Halloween helped our generation appreciate scary things. Yeah, okay. I could see that being definitely a contributor. Sure. I never really had good costumes growing up. I know you talked about your favorite and worst Halloween costumes a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
When Colonel and I couldn't join. I literally was one of those kids that had the sheet with the holes, and I had the glasses, and my dad was like, "You're a fucking ghost this year. Have fun." And I'm like,
"My name's Bob."
And at the bottom of I looked like Bob, but I don't think I knew Bob at the time. I think I met Bob a couple years later through Halloween. But of course the sheet was stamped at like the seam or whatever with the linen company that we use for the hotel. So it was just kind of like this. Oh boy, this is the worst. I was that, and so I think because of that, I was never really into Halloween as a lot of people are. But,
yeah, God, it was so magical. And then for many years, I would have a horrible depression after Halloween ended, after the season ended and everything. It was weird. I was like, I never experienced shit like that before, and I realized, oh fuck.
Yeah, is that kind of like now your depression after a con?
Sometimes, yeah, but that's. We've got so much work to do after a con that that helps.
Okay.
That kind of thwart it right off really quick. But yeah, that I don't know, man. My early pre-teens was kind of just ruin your fucking week, 2 weeks
right
after Halloween ended.
Faze, thank you, Faze. He says you guys are celebrities to us, except me. You're brothers to me. That's right, sir. You're a brother to us as well. Goddamn right.
Fucking musketeer, goddamn it.
Joseph says, my parents didn't allow me to even read Stephen King books, let alone watch them. It was my grandmother who would wake me up in the middle of the night so that we could watch horror movies together. She was too scared to watch them alone. See, and that's where I got with my mom, because my mom was kind of a fan of those, not necessarily into horror a lot, but she liked Rosemary's Baby. She liked Psycho. She liked, some of those classics. And
dude, it was
that's
Salem's
where I got that.
Lot, man. Fucking Salem's Lot. I was 9 years fucking old when that shit hit, man. 8 maybe. And that was fucking scary for a made-for-TV fucking movie.
Oh,
Jesus
and
Christ. Nightmare.
my mom loved Cujo. I don't know what it was about Cujo. Maybe just the whole mother protecting the son thing, and she was like, "That's what I would fucking do if a big ass dog would come at me." Now I don't know if my little frail, 50, 60-year-old mother would have been able to do that, but my parents had me much later in life. I think my mom was around 40 when I was born, but yeah. What does it say? Tarek says, pissed because that 98 early 2000s website, the name, yes, it was on the tip of his tongue. It was huge and it was disturbing as hell. Yes, and it was a guy's name, wasn't it? It was like so-and-so's something.
I don't remember that one. I remember rotten.com, but that was just images. That wasn't video.
No, it wasn't rotten.com.
I saw they always had morgue photos on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that one too, but it wasn't that one that I'm thinking of. I'm going to have to do some research on this later. Raymond says about the TV series It, miniseries, scared the shit out of me and started my love for all things Stephen King. There you go.
I mean, fuck that. After I saw Salem's Lot, I ran the other way. I didn't want to know nothing about that shit, man. I was trying to forget those fucking kids going, open the window.
Yeah.
Why'd you let the kids on the table?
You wanted to. Holly says she had the Charlie Brown costume, I guess. Damn
my
it.
God.
I'm talking about yours.
Nah, I did not have a Charlie Brown costume.
Yes,
but...
you did. With the...
Oh, well, yeah, I guess with the ghost, but...
Yeah.
I was thinking of Bob.
I got a rock.
Holly also says it was about the candy, not the costume, until I hit 20. I guess, yeah. Faye says I would have loved to have experienced Halloween before 1990.
Faith. No, Halloween was still alive and well up to about late 90s, and there's a shift. Because when I was a kid, everything was Halloween. Still, like commercials, Halloween commercials everywhere. Like Halloween was still big in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Once I hit about 10, 12, that's when I started noticing a difference.
Yeah. Carrie says Halloween costume used to be a garbage bag back in the day. Yeah. Yeah.
There were times we had to wear a garbage bag over the costume because it was fucking raining. But we be denied on that shit, man.
And I love the ones that are like the white garbage bags, and then they got like styrofoam cups and shit, like plasticware stuck all over them too, and they're like, I'm white trash. I'm just hitting the wrong one all fucking night, so it's
I got you.
I'm done.
I thought you said white trash. I thought you were talking about the new Rob Zombie movie. Because that's what you think of Rob Zombie movie. Some of them, yes. Yeah, he said it before.
Some of them, yes.
The buzzer was for his previous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Carrie says, still got my house inside decorated with Halloween decorations. I need to live in a gothic place. If I could find one that I could afford, I'd buy it in a goddamn heartbeat. Even if a fixer-upper.
Yep.
I'd do it.
No, you can get some castles now for under $1 million, man. Once we get syndicated, then it's done.
I don't need
operations are moving there. That's what we're doing.
I don't need a fucking castle, but like just a nice gothic style plantation house. That'd be lovely.
You're crazy. I was in an old Victorian house.
Or a Victorian house.
You remember I was going to look at one when I first started looking at houses?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Put a bid on it. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't get that. I couldn't afford to fix that fucker.
Oh, it would take me years to fix anything up like that, but I'd work on it.
Yeah, we need a haunted house anyway. We could probably do it at Colonel's. Fuck, there's a place you could do a snuff film in Colonel's basement. It's fucking scary, dude.
That's where he's got his 20-year-olds tied up.
Probably a couple of bodies there. I wouldn't be surprised.
Lorena says, I loved making Halloween costumes for my kids. That stick a fork in me one I did for Faye's. My life was a duct tape and fake blood for a couple of days. Excellent.
Pictures. What the fuck?
Tarek says, oh no, the guy's name, yep, holy crap, I forgot. It was Things By or something. Something like that, but not quite. And I don't remember what it was, but yeah.
It ain't hit me at all. I'm not sure.
Faye says, my personal favorite costume was the serial killer with cereal boxes duct taped all over me with fake blood. Nice. And that sounds like a good place to end it for the night. Folks, thank you, as always, for tuning in and listening to us ramble on about old 60-something-year-old movies, plus just random philosophical thoughts.
If you missed it, the shit replays in a couple of minutes.
You can absolutely do that. Special thanks to our members, our final girls and guys. If you did not get something in the mail from us today, check your box tomorrow. You should have it there, but that is Chris, Lorena, Christy, Luke, Patricia, Tanya, and Tyrone, and also our crazy Ralph Raymond, and then our camp counselors Stacy, Lynn, Orlando, Kiara, and Dave. Thank you, guys. And stay tuned shortly. We will be hopefully announcing a special event for you guys here in the next week or so. Or hopefully by the end of this week.
Should be fun.
It should be a lot of fun. Ziggy, send them out.
Hey, man. That was fun. I didn't expect the 60s to be such a blast, but that's why it was the fucking 60s, man. We got some good movies. You haven't seen some of them. Now you got some shit to do. Thanksgiving time coming up soon. You'll have time off to do so.
Did you say time off for the fuck? Oh, you're talking to them.
Yeah.
I thought you were
Talking to them, not you. Not you.
Sorry, buddy. I know, Colonel. I know, buddy. They're there. They got you.
They do.
They're never going to let you go.
The French.
Exactly. Well, we're going to be here, and Thanksgiving is going to be fun. Like I said, members, coming up. Little something just for you. And, folks, plenty of time to get involved with that, too. In the meantime, the menu next week, the review. Hopefully, we'll see. I don't know if Colonel's going to see it, but I'll see it. I'm looking forward to it. And we'll see you then, man. Thanks for coming in tonight. Love ya.
Colonel.
Goddamn right. Thanks for joining us. Like I said, this was a lot of fun. I think I had more fun not talking about the movies or just talking shit about the movies that people had on their list. Hey, I'm just going to say, I was pumped to see that we all had very different lists minus the fucking obvious answers. That was pretty cool. It's rare that it happens. Usually Crank has a totally different list and mine and Zag's are damn near identical. So it was a nice change of pace. Well, like I said, we like the bottom. We're fucking like catfish. We eat the shit the bottom. You're a top feeder, man. We all know this.
I like what I like.
Yes, you do. And that's why we love you. But unfortunately, it sucks because now we got these T-shirts out, and I Georgia married myself and never trademarked it. So don't get sick. Wash your dick and don't smell like a Scuba Steve. You Summer's Eve.
Yes.
Coming soon to your members' mailbox.
Yes.
If you haven't already. Yes, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
The great Felisa Rose, too. I mean, why not?
You think she'd get mad if she had a economy? Give her one of those shirts.
She would fucking love that shit. You
Oh,
kidding
she
me?
would love it. Yeah.
Her image without the permission.
She would love it.
But we're not selling it.
We're not selling it.
That is true.
So
Here, we made this for you. She's
Yeah, we
funny.
could just-
Come on, dude. She went on that show and just talking about dick sizes and measuring dicks and shit. That was
she's what's she called? The dick mangler? Cock mangler?
the cock bang.
Right here, mangled dick expert.
Mangled dick expert. That's it. Carrie brings something up that I want to hit real quick. Ghost hunting with the DCS, a possible show idea.
We've mentioned that.
We've
I'm
discussed
down.
it.
I'm fucking down, man.
We could do that.
But we want-
Bobby Mackey's is literally a 10-minute drive.
It's right there. But we want one of you to come with us.
No, we
gotta do
want
it that way.
we want a bunch of you to come with us, but we got because we had talked about like trying to figure out and I'm just throwing this out there. I don't remember if this is not the place that we were talking about doing this, but I know Waverly Hills Sanitarium in Kentucky recently did an event with Danielle Harris.
If you come here, we got Eloise Asylum. It's right up the fucking road, man.
We had talked about doing something like that either before or right after a con, and trying to tie it in with having some of you guys join us and have a crew there to help film with us, and also meet up with the local ghost hunting group. We were going to go like all out on this, but right now
In the hopper.
it's too fucking expensive to do.
Correct.
But I mean, absolutely, you have no idea some of the bullshit things that we've just been like Ziggy's been high, I've been drunk, and we're like, hey, what if we did this? And he's like, that's fucking brilliant, write it down. And we come back and look at it a week or so later, and we're like, actually, that's a really fucking good idea. How do we do
it? Game
it?
show came up, really?
Yeah, pretty much.
You notice he didn't mention my name because I'm sleeping.
Well, no, because you don't drink or get stoned that much.
Colonel.
Not like we do.
I'm sleeping.
And you're
Ride this
sleepy.
fucking train, baby. It's fine. Got this.
All right.
Gonna
Thanks
get
for
there,
watching,
man.
gang. The menu next week. After that,
Who knows?
is that the one?
That's
It is.
it.
Yeah, that is the one. After that, maybe something special. We'll see. We got to make some contacts and get all that stuff in the hopper figured out. But thanks for tuning in. Join us. Go see the menu this weekend so you have something to say about it on Monday. And
Let's keep horror hot in the theaters.
that's right. This is the last major release for the year, I think. Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
That's why we have to watch it.
Yes.
Good night, folks. See you next week. Woo! Good night, Colonel.
Just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Pardon my